Thank you so much, Kezia, our moderator. And I want to applaud Agnes because of one step she has taken that has been very difficult in this county, but is to get leaders to hold these conversations with people. We've received a lot of feedback from them directly that these forums, oh, we come there to be abused, we come there to be told nasty things, but I want to tell Agnes and also other leaders in this county, especially MCAs, through her, she said she's chief whip, that the people are hungry for these conversations. And we are standing in gaps that you should be standing in. That's why when you come to this forum, the people have more questions for you than they have among themselves. So, first, I say thank you. Let me just give you your flowers because courage and that heart to be here in itself is exceptional. I want to,
Thank
so that
you,
we save,
Frida. Thank you.
yeah, so that we save time, I just want to go to the issues that were raised without necessarily picking on any one person's name. I want us to do something very little. This should be able to respond to Kasanga's question and a few other questions or other comments. I had somebody who understood what my idea was, and my idea was in the politics, governance, and leadership of Kenya today. And yes, we are concentrating on Embu because we have not done enough in Embu to start concentrating in other things. In Embu, if you want to not have nominated MCAs, it is possible. Because I want to share my screen briefly. Just give me a moment so that I share that screen. You understand what I'm saying. Kindly confirm with a thumbs up if my screen is visible. Thank you, Jupiter. So this is what the Article 177 of the Constitution of Kenya says. And this will answer Kasanga's question very quickly. Um, Clause 1. A county assembly shall consist of members elected by registered voters of the ward, each ward constituting a single member constituency. The others are stories, but basically is that each ward shall elect one representative. Let us use a case example of the 2022 elections. We elected 20 MCAs that were each representing a ward. Just thought I zoom it a bit. Uh-huh. Yeah, so each MCA was representing a ward. That one we got it right. And when we were electing these MCAs, we elected 2 women and 18 men. The 2 women is the MCA for Kieni North and the MCA for Kagari South. All the other wards elected men. Now, Clause B of Article 177 of the Constitution says that a county assembly, start pale clause 1, a county assembly constitutes of B, the number of special seat members necessary to ensure no more than 2/3. No more than 2/3 of the membership of the assembly are of the same gender. If we go to our mathematics pale juu, when you look at the proportion or the ratio of women to men, this will be 1/9, or rather 2/18 times 100, which brings the representation of women towards. Somebody can do those quick mathematics. So what happens is that this has to be balanced so that even if the women are to be the lesser represented gender in the county assembly, it has to be at least 2/3. So what do? Is they elect, or rather they nominate 8 more women plus 1 youth member plus 1 PWD representative. And so our Embu County has 10 nominated members. So ile swali tunauliza at this point, is it that we could not elect these our women to be 10 from the word go? And if we elected 10 women, that would even be 50-50. With our constituency, or rather with our county having 20 wards, we just need like 7 women elected and 13 men elected. If we elect that way, we will not need any nominations. Otherwise, what do we need nominations for? Yet the 1/3, the 2/3 gender rule has been represented. If we did this and we did not include PWDs and we did not include the youth, then we would still be required to nominate youth and even nominate PWD. And according to the constitution, actually, the youth representative needs to be a man and a woman, and the PWD representative the same. Because the Kenya constitution does not believe in I don't know what I would call it, like cross gender representation. Like you can have a PWD who is a man and expect Atailewa needs the PWD women. So it always provides for these special seats there also be a man and a woman. So that's why we are saying from the beginning, if we as voters did our part and supported women when watasimama viti za MCA, we will not need to have nominations in Embu. We can have a well-constituted assembly, because the nomination of women or men, for purposes of this conversation in the county assembly, is not by default. It's a design. It only comes when it is necessary. However, there are people who have also mastered the art of playing nominations. Like there's somebody in the county currently who just told me very casually that I mi si ati natafuta kiti ya bunge. She was talking about the National Assembly. Ati mi si ati natafuta kiti ya bunge, mi natafuta nomination. Then I was like, why would she have to already plan for nomination? Simply do I may identify we have an ignorance as a voter body. We have an ignorance that we don't put women in. Of course, for many reasons, women have had their many challenges getting into leadership. But then somebody knows, because nomination process inafanyangwa ni party, I need to play money politics, I need to play kingmaker politics in the party, so that I just go and say I've worked so much for the party. In nomination isiende. There's somebody who said about nominating intellectuals or something in the county assembly, but those are not the politics that go there to nominations. I'm not saying anything particularly when I say that, but if the party nominates according to its own will, it will only meet the criteria of numbers. Kama sasa Embu, we needed to nominate 10 people. So the parties had to divide these 10 open slots for nomination kulingana na the number of numbers it has in the county assembly. So UDA, because it had a lot of numbers in the Embu County Assembly, it got more of the nomination posts. And then there was the DEP party, which the Devolution Empowerment Party, which is the BAS party. And then there was the Jubilee party, because each one of them had their own politics to play. And so the party that gets more elected members, by virtue of this Article 177 and the provision of the Political Parties Act, and also in the IEBC procedures, the party that has more members gets more of these slots on a pro rata basis. So that now, even if it is equations of, okay, so we need 10 members. UDA had, maybe, for example, had 12 members out of 20. So 12 out of 20, hiyo percentage ni gani ya kuwapatia these 10 slots? So I think those are the mathematics that we need to play. And I believe if we are able to elect leaders in our county per this parameter, we will be able to eliminate nominations. So for me, even what I would do is to even encourage the nominated MCAs and the ones who have a heart for the people like Agnes, is to throw themselves into the ring and they be elected. Because for me, I'm on a mission of saving for this county and saving for the country. And this mission must start somewhere. Hatuwezi anza kwenda kukaa pale Jivanji, si tumetoka Embu, tuko pale Jivanji tunaongea about nominations in the whole county and the whole, yet in our own backyard we've not even grasped the issues, and we've not even been able to involve the members. So I've answered that also together with this clause C, that says the number of members of the county assembly shall constitute also of, clause C, the number of members of marginalized groups, including persons with disabilities and the youth, prescribed by an act of parliament. And then the other member is the speaker, who is an ex officio member. So that is what the constitution says, and it is backed up by the Political Parties Act that even stipulates how nominations are to be done. But I want to say in this forum that I don't know whether you have a rough idea of how these nominations are done. So like last year in 2022, we had a list of nominations that came out, and some of the people who are in nomination lists are not the ones who are nominated members in the assembly. And we are saying political parties in Kenya are ran like let's call it like a household. Unajua huwezi enda kwa nyumba ya mtu kumwambia vile atafanya. So political parties with their party leaders, the party leader becomes like a father figure in the political party, na huwezi toka na huko ukuje kuambia vile wataran political party yao. So they nominate as they wish. Even nomination of candidates to run for election is actually done with party politics. However, as voters at the ballot, we can decide we want to increase women, we can nominate men, or we want to maintain the number of men and not necessarily nominate women. It's as simple as that. I hope it is as simple as I'm feeling it. Thank you, Kezia.
Yeah, thank you, Kezia. Members, we are coming to the tail end of the discussion. Like we always say, we like to keep our time and keep your time. Now, I want to share three things. One, there's a link I have put in the chat box, and that link will give you a guidance into the topics we will discuss up until April. So if there's any topic you feel that we need to discuss, just be making a comment down below that post and we shall be considering it. Number two, I wanted to share with us an understanding of the budgetary implications of what we are talking about today. So this is what it looks like to maintain nominated MCAs. So in Embu, if a nominated MCA per month roughly spends 400,000, then it means for the total nominated MCA, we spend 4 million. Here is 4 million. Now, this MCA, to sustain them annually, 4 million times 12 is equals to 48 million annually in Embu alone. For 5 years, you will use 240 million on the minimum on these nominated MCAs. Now, there's somebody who wanted to bring in the discussion of nationally, what it would look like. And if you take an average of every county nominating 10 MCAs, then that translates to, what is this? Is it 11 billion 280 million just on emoluments for MCAs? Don't forget, we've been told they don't have development allocations. And this is roughly this. If we use 10 persons per county, it means we are working with about 470 MCAs. But in actual sense, in the last government, we had 772 nominated MCAs. Nationally, we had 20 nominated senators and 71 nominated MPs. That is what it means for us as a cost not to have women in the county assemblies and, of course, in the legislature, Senate and National Assembly. Then the third thing that I wanted to share with us is how the nominated MCAs, or rather, who are the nominated MCAs in the county assembly. And this is who they are. I want to share this just briefly as we finish, because we should have found time for this, but it's okay. So that is the County Assembly of Embu County. That is the speaker. The speaker is from Evurore Ward. Then these are the nominated members. You can see we have Swale, we have Moredi Kobole, we have Mbaka for Mavuria. Then we have Edwin for Runyenjes, Munyambu for Mwea, Tere for Kenino. This is one of the ladies who is elected. Then we have Agnes, who we had today. Here she is. She's nominated and minority whip. Then Karori Julius is Kedemo. Augustine is nominated for PWD. This is Augustine James Njero, who is nominated nominated MCA for PWDs, and he's from where? I want you to see these faces so that when you see them, you remember them. Then we have Maureen Nyaga, who is also nominated as gender top up. Sijui ametoka wapi. I don't know whether it's Kedemo or Mbeti, I'm not sure. Then and she's nominated on UDA. We have Mate Yvonne, who is nominated on Bas Party from Rogorungandore. Boy Duncan is MCA for Evurore. Then we have Newton Karish, who is elected for Mumenje. Then we have Mushangi Paul, elected for Gaturi North. We have Frederick, who is famously known as Kamwigunye for Gaturi South. Then we have Nzangi. Nzangi is elected for Makema. Masters elected for Kiambere. Kiora, famously known as Tadpo, elected for Mbeti South. Muturi Mwombo, elected for Rogoro Ngandore. Susan Wariro, elected for Kagare South. Then we have Gevenji, elected for Ngenda. We have Samuel, elected for Ndawa. Johnson, elected for Kagare North, famously known as Mwariama. We have Barnabas Njama, elected for Kieni South. And then here is a list of now nominated members. So we have Honorable Njiro, she's nominated. I don't know where she hails from. Kavinda Mary is nominated. She
Which
hails from Kieni
zero
South.
friendly?
Then we
Zero.
have Jane. Jane nominated from Betty South. We have Gevenji Daniel nominated. We have Jimia Ifa. We have Susan Mwende from Kagari North. So those are your MCAs, and these are the people we are asking about what are they doing for us. Thank you, Agnes, for clarifying. And Agnes, allow us to hold what you've told us to your word only. You're speaking for self. You're not speaking for everybody else because everybody else has their own things that they are doing. But with time and as
Please invite them, Doctor. Invite them, eh? That was my
yes.
opinion politically, yeah?
Mm.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so as we move on with our show, we will get a chance to invite them. Now, as we move to Mashinani and bring the talks to Mashinani, then we should also be able to up our accountability on these our people.